My MIL called me trash and tried to pay me $50,000 to leave my husband, so I exposed her. I showed up to her fancy birthday, told everyone about the envelope, and forced my husband to pick a side, but nobody expected what happened after. If this story pulled you in, please subscribe to Velvet Stories so you don't miss the next one. It started the day I met her. I was 22, fresh out of college, wearing my nicest dress to dinner at their country club. She looked me up and down like I was something stuck to her shoe. "So you're the girl," she said. "Not nice to meet you, not welcome, just that." My husband Daniel squeezed my hand under the table. "Mom, be nice." "I am being nice," she said, cutting her steak with surgical precision. "I'm simply observing." Over the next 2 years, she observed a lot. She observed that my parents rented instead of owned. She observed that I worked as a teacher instead of something more prestigious. She observed that my engagement ring was modest, though Daniel had saved for months to buy it. At our engagement party, she pulled me aside. "You seem sweet," she said, "but Daniel needs someone from his world, someone who understands his lifestyle." "I love him," I said. She smiled. It didn't reach her eyes. Love fades. Reading doesn't. The wedding was worse. She wore cream, nearly white. In every photo, she positioned herself between Daniel and me. During the reception, she gave a toast about how she'd always imagined Daniel marrying someone specific. "But life surprises us," she said, staring directly at me. "Sometimes we get what we settle for instead of what we dream of." Daniel defended me afterward, but always in private, never in front of her. "She'll come around," he kept saying, "just give her time." I gave her 2 years. She never came around. She'd call during dinner and talk to Daniel for an hour. She'd send him articles about divorce rates among couples from different economic backgrounds. She'd plan family vacations without asking my schedule, then act surprised when I couldn't come. "Oh, that's right," she said. "You have to work, how unfortunate." At holidays, she'd serve my food last. She'd ask Daniel about his day and cut me off mid-sentence when I spoke. She'd introduce me to people as the girl Daniel married instead of using my name. One Christmas, she gave everyone thoughtful gifts. Daniel's sister got diamond earrings. His brother got tickets to a sports game. I got a gift card to a grocery store. "I wasn't sure what you'd like," she explained sweetly. "You're still so new." We'd been married for 18 months. The subtle cruelties added up. At family dinners, she'd ask Daniel's sister about her work at a law firm, praising her accomplishments. She'd ask his brother about his latest business venture, nodding with interest. Then she'd turn to me with a tight smile and say, "And how are your little students?" Little students like teaching was adorable, a hobby, something I did to pass time until I grew up and got a real job. "They're doing well," I'd say. "We're working on reading comprehension." "How sweet," she'd respond, already turning back to her son. "Daniel, tell me about the promotion." I started dreading family gatherings, the constant feeling of being measured and found wanting, the way she'd compliment Daniel's sister's outfit while looking at mine with visible disappointment. The way she'd laugh at his brother's jokes and barely acknowledge mine. Daniel noticed but always explained it away. "She's just traditional," he'd say. "She doesn't understand your world. I'm not from another planet." I'd respond, "I'm from New Jersey." "You know what I mean," he'd say, "give her time." But time made it worse. The longer we were married, the more his mom seemed to resent my presence, like she'd expected me to be a phase, something Daniel would outgrow. One Sunday dinner, she spent 20 minutes talking about Vanessa Whitmore, how successful she was, how beautiful, how her family had just bought another property in the Hamptons. "Remember when you two used to play tennis?" she asked Daniel. "You made such a lovely pair." Daniel shifted uncomfortably. "That was a long time ago, Mom." "Some things are timeless," she said, looking at me. "Compatibility, shared values, similar backgrounds." I excused myself to the bathroom and sat on the edge of the tub, counting to 100. When I came back, she was showing Daniel photos of Vanessa on her phone. The breaking point came last spring. I was at their house helping prep for a family gathering when she asked me into her study. She closed the door, sat behind her massive desk. "I want to be honest with you," she said. "You're never going to be a real part of this family." My stomach dropped. "It's not personal," she continued. "You're just not what we envisioned for Daniel, and I can see it's taking a toll on you trying to fit in where you don't belong." She opened a desk drawer, pulled out an envelope. "I'm prepared to offer you $50,000, she said calmly. "To walk away, divorce Daniel quietly, no drama, no fighting, just disappear." I couldn't speak, couldn't move. Think about it, she said. That's more money than you'd make in a year of teaching. You could start fresh, find someone more your speed, and Daniel could move on with his life. You're trying to pay me to leave your son, I said slowly. I'm trying to help everyone involved, she corrected. This marriage was a mistake. We both know it. I'm simply offering you a dignified exit. Does Daniel know about this? Of course not, she said, and he doesn't need to. This can be between us. You tell him you're unhappy, that you rushed into things that you need to find yourself. I'll make sure the divorce is handled discreetly. No one has to look like the bad guy except me. You'll be fine, she said. You're young. You'll meet someone more suitable, someone who won't expect you to navigate a world you don't understand. I stood up. My hands were shaking. I need to think about this. Take your time, she said, but not too much time. These things tend to get messier the longer they drag on. I walked out of that study and straight to my car. I didn't say goodbye to anyone. I just drove home and locked myself in the bathroom. Daniel found me 2 hours later, eyes swollen from crying. What happened? He asked, kneeling beside the tub. Did something happen at my parents' house? I'm fine. I lied. Just a bad day. Talk to me, he said. But I couldn't. How do you tell your husband his mother just tried to buy you off? How do you admit that to him without destroying his relationship with her? And what if he didn't believe me? What if he thought I was exaggerating or being dramatic? So I said nothing. For weeks, I carried it around like a stone in my chest. Every time his mom called, I felt sick. Every family dinner became torture. She'd smile at me across the table, knowing what she'd offered, knowing I hadn't told Daniel. One night, she called during our dinner. Daniel answered, "Hey, Mom." He said, "Can I call you back? We're eating." Of course, I heard her say through the phone, "Tell your wife I said hello. Your wife, not my name. Never my name." Daniel hung up and looked at me. "You okay? You've been quiet lately." "I'm fine." I said, "You're not fine." He said, "You've been different since that Sunday at my parents' house." Did something happen? Nothing happened. You're lying to me. He said it wasn't accusatory, just sad. We don't lie to each other. Sometimes lying is kinder. I said. He put down his fork. What does that mean? I almost told him. The words were right there, but then his phone rang again. His mom, he declined it. She probably just wants to talk about the family reunion. He said she's been planning it for months. A family reunion with his mom and Vanessa Whitmore and everyone else who thought I didn't belong. I'm not going, I said. What, to the reunion? I'm not going. Daniel stared at me. Why not? Because I'm tired, I said. I'm tired of pretending I'm welcome. Tired of being treated like I'm temporary. Tired of being the wrong choice. My mother doesn't think you're the wrong choice. I laughed. It came out bitter, doesn't she? She's just protective. She's cruel, I said. The word hung between us, and I don't know how much longer I can keep doing this. Doing what? Being married to you while your mother wishes I'd disappear. Daniel went pale. Is this about the divorce thing? You want to leave? No, I said quickly. God, no, I love you. That's the problem. I love you so much, and your mother is making it impossible to be happy. Then we'll deal with her, he said. We'll set boundaries. Well, she offered me money, I said. The words came out before I could stop them. To leave you $50,000. She called me into her study and offered me $50,000 to divorce you and disappear. The silence was deafening. Daniel's face went through several expressions. Confusion, disbelief, realization, rage. When? He asked quietly. 5 weeks ago. 5 weeks. He repeated, you've been carrying this for 5 weeks. I didn't know how to tell you. You tell me, he said, his voice rising. You tell me immediately. You tell me my mother tried to pay my wife to leave me. I didn't want to hurt you. You think this doesn't hurt? He asked. You think knowing my wife has been suffering in silence doesn't hurt? You think finding out my mother is as he couldn't finish the sentence. He grabbed his phone, started dialing. What are you doing? I asked, calling her. Daniel, don't, but he was already talking. Mom, yeah, we need to talk right now. Pause, I don't care if it's late. You tried to pay my wife $50,000 to leave me. I could hear her voice through the phone. High-pitched, defensive. I don't want to hear it, Daniel said. I don't want your explanations or your justifications. What you did is unforgivable. Pause, no, you don't get to make this about what's best for me. I'm a grown man. I chose my wife, and you need to accept that, or you need to stay out of my life. He hung up. Then he pulled me into his arms and held me while I finally let myself cry. Really cry. All the hurt and humiliation and fear I'd been carrying came pouring out. I'm so sorry, he kept saying. I'm so sorry I didn't see it. I'm so sorry I kept telling you to give her time. She's your mom. I said, you love her and I love you more. He said, I should have protected you better. That night we talked for hours. I told him everything, every slight, every cruel comment, every moment I'd felt like I didn't belong. He listened without interrupting, his face getting darker with each story. I knew she was cold to you, he said finally, but I didn't realize how bad it was. I didn't let myself see it. She's good at hiding it, I said. She never does it in front of you. That makes it worse, he said. His phone kept ringing. His mom, his dad, his sister. He ignored them all. The next morning his father showed up at our apartment. He looked exhausted. Your mother is devastated, he said to Daniel. She says you won't answer her calls. She tried to buy off my wife. Daniel said. His father sighed. I know, she told me. She says it was a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding? I asked. She offered me $50,000 in an envelope. She told me to disappear. What exactly did I misunderstand? His father looked uncomfortable. She was trying to help in her own misguided way by destroying my marriage, by saving Daniel from what she thought was a mistake, he said. Then he looked at me. She doesn't think you're good enough for him. She's never thought that, and I'm sorry, but that's the truth. The words hung in the air. So you agree with her, I said quietly. I didn't say that, but you don't disagree. He looked away. I think you and Daniel come from very different worlds, and sometimes that matters. Get out, Daniel said. Daniel, get out of my house, both of you, my mother and you. You're not welcome here anymore. His father left. Daniel slammed the door so hard a picture frame fell off the wall. I'm sorry, I said. Stop apologizing, he said. You didn't do anything wrong. They did. My whole family did, and I'm done making excuses for them. But the damage was done. Over the next week, I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. I kept replaying the conversation with his father. She doesn't think you're good enough. She's never thought that. I looked at myself in the mirror and saw what they saw. Someone ordinary, someone who didn't fit, someone who tricked their son into loving her. Daniel noticed. Hey, he said one morning, tilting my chin up. Where are you right now? I'm wondering if they're right, I said. About what? About me, about us. Maybe I'm not. Don't, he said. Don't let them get in your head. You are enough, you're more than enough, and if my family can't see that, that's their loss. But what if they never accept me? Then we build our own family. He said, we create our own traditions. We surround ourselves with people who love us both, and we leave them behind. It sounded simple when he said it, but I knew it wasn't. I knew he was choosing me over his entire family, and that weight was crushing. Then the invitation arrived. His mom's 60th birthday party, black tie at their estate, family and close friends only. She has some nerve, Daniel said, tearing it up. We're not going, but I looked at the torn pieces and something in me shifted. Actually, I said, I want to go. What? Why? Because I'm tired of running, tired of being quiet, tired of letting her win. What are you planning? I don't know yet, I said. But I'm done being the nice girl who takes it silently. Daniel studied my face. You're serious? Dead serious. He smiled. It was sharp, dangerous. Okay, then let's go to my mother's birthday party. I spent the next week planning exactly what I'd wear, not something modest and appropriate, something that would make me feel powerful. I bought a dress I couldn't afford. Deep red, form-fitting, the kind of dress that demanded attention. The night of the party, Daniel's eyes went wide when he saw me. Wow, too much, I asked. Not enough, he said. You look incredible. We arrived at his parents' estate at 7:30 p.m. Cars lined the driveway. Valet in crisp uniforms, string quartet playing classical music, everything perfect and polished and expensive. His mom was greeting guests at the door. She saw us and her smile faltered. Daniel, you came, wouldn't miss it, he said. She looked at me at my dress, her jaw tightened. How festive. Thank you, I said sweetly. You look lovely too. We moved inside. The house was packed with people I'd seen at previous gatherings. People who'd barely acknowledged my existence. People who'd watched his mom treat me like I was invisible and said nothing. Daniel's sister found us by the bar. Oh my God, she said, looking at me. That dress is gorgeous. Where did you get it? Thanks, I said. It's new. Well, you look amazing, very different from your usual style. Your usual style, like I normally dressed in rags. I felt like changing things up, I said. His brother appeared with his wife. There you guys are. Mom was worried you wouldn't come. Why wouldn't we come? Daniel asked. You know, because of everything, I asked innocently. What everything? His brother looked uncomfortable. The thing with Mom, the offer that he trailed off. Oh, that, I said. When your mother tried to pay me $50,000 to leave Daniel, that everything. His wife's eyes went wide. Wait, what? Didn't you know? I asked. Your mother-in-law tried to buy me off, offered me $50,000 to divorce Daniel and disappear because I'm not good enough for your family. That's not his brother started, then stopped. Because he did know, they all knew. Daniel's sister grabbed my arm. I need a drink. Come with me. At the bar, she ordered a whiskey straight. I didn't know, she said about the money. I knew Mom was being awful to you, but I didn't know she'd gone that far. Would it have mattered if you did know? I asked. She looked at me. Really, looked at me. Honestly, I don't know. Mom is Mom. We've all learned to just go along with what she wants. It's easier than fighting. Even when what she wants is cruel, especially then, she said quietly. But that's not an excuse. I should have stood up for you. I'm sorry, your mother thinks I'm trash, I said, and your whole family just lets her think that. You're not trash, she said. You're actually really nice, which makes this whole thing worse. Honestly, if you were terrible, at least Mom's behavior would make sense. I'm glad my nickness makes things harder for you, I said. She winced. I deserve that. The party continued. People mingled. Servers circulated with champagne and hors d'oeuvres. His mom worked the room like a politician, laughing and hugging and playing the role of beloved matriarch. At 8:00 p.m., Daniel's father tapped his glass. Time for toasts. His brother went first, a funny story about their childhood. Everyone laughed. His sister went next, a sweet memory about their mom teaching her to garden, from the crowd. Then his mom stood up. She looked radiant, happy, surrounded by family and friends who adored her. Thank you all for being, she said. 60 years is a milestone, and I couldn't imagine celebrating it without the people who mattered. Her eyes swept the room. My family means everything to me. Blood is thicker than water, they say, and tonight I'm surrounded by the who truly. She looked directly at me. Something inside me. I stood up. My heart was pounding, but my hands were steady. I'd like to say something too, I said. The room went quiet. Daniel looked at me confused. His mom's smile froze on her face. I want to thank you all for including me tonight, I said. My voice carried across the room. Even though I'm not really part of this family, at least according to some people. Heads turned, whispers started. In fact, I continued looking directly at his mom. According to some people, I'm worth exactly $50,000. That's what I was offered to leave, Daniel, to disappear quietly. To stop embarrassing this family with my presence. His mom's face went white. This is inappropriate. Is it? I asked. Is it inappropriate to tell the truth? To let everyone know that the woman we're celebrating tonight tried to buy me off. You're making a scene, she said. Her voice was shaking. Good, I said. Let me make it crystal clear. 6 weeks ago, she called me into her study, sat me down, pulled out an envelope with $50,000 cash, and told me to divorce Daniel and disappear because I'm not good enough for him, because I don't come from the right family, because I embarrass her. The room erupted. People started talking all at once. His mom's face had gone from white to red. That's not what happened, she said. You're twisting things, am I asked. Did you or did you not offer me money to leave your son? Silence. Answer me, I said, in front of all these people who think you're so wonderful. Did you try to pay me to leave, Daniel? She opened her mouth, closed it. Her carefully constructed image was crumbling. You're manipulating the situation, she finally said. I was trying to help. You were clearly struggling to fit in. I offered you a way out. That's kindness, not cruelty. Kindness, I repeated. You think trying to destroy your son's marriage is kindness? I was protecting him, she said. Her voice was rising from making a mistake, from throwing his life away on someone who will never understand his world. There it is, I said. The truth. You think I'm beneath him. You think I'm trash that needs to be bought off and thrown away? I think you're practical enough to recognize when you're out of your depth, she said. The mask was off now. Her voice was cold. You don't belong here, you never have. And deep down you know it. That's why you're so desperate to prove yourself. That's why you showed up tonight dressed like that. Like what? I asked. Like you're trying too hard, she said. Like you're pretending to be something you're not. Daniel stood up. That's enough. No, I said, let her finish. Let everyone hear what she really thinks. His mom looked around the room at the shocked faces, at her husband, at her children. She realized too late that she'd gone too far. I only wanted what's best for my son, she said. Her voice cracked. You wanted control, I said. You wanted Daniel to marry who you chose to live the life you planned, and when he chose me instead, you couldn't handle it. So you tried to make me disappear. This is my birthday party, she said. How dare you ruin it with your drama? Your drama, Daniel said. He'd walked over to stand beside me. She tried to pay off my wife. She's been cruel to her for 2 years, and you think she's the one causing drama? His father stood up. Maybe we should all calm down. No, Daniel said. We shouldn't because I'm done pretending this is okay. I'm done asking my wife to be patient while my mother treats her like garbage. I'm done choosing you over her. His mom started crying big, dramatic tears. Daniel, please, I'm your mother and she's my wife. He said, the person I chose, the person I love, and if you can't respect that, then we're done. You don't mean that. She said, I absolutely mean that. He said, you tried to destroy my marriage. You think my wife is trash. You've made her feel unwelcome in our family for 2 years. Why would I want you in my life? Because I'm your mother, she wailed. You can't just abandon me. You abandoned me first, he said. The moment you chose your pride over my happiness, we walked toward the door. His sister followed us. Wait, she said, I'm coming with you. His mom's sobs echoed through the house. Guests stood frozen, unsure what to do. His father looked devastated. We made it to the car before Daniel's hands started shaking. Did that really just happen? Yes, I said. I just destroyed my relationship with my mother at her birthday party. No, I said, she destroyed it when she tried to buy me off. You just made it public. His sister slid into the back seat. That was incredible, she said. Terrifying and incredible. We drove to a diner and sat in a booth until midnight, processing what had happened. Daniel's phone was blowing up. Calls from his mom, his dad, his brother, aunts, uncles, cousins, everyone with an opinion. He turned it off. I feel sick, he said, but also relieved. She needed to hear it, his sister said. We all did. She's been getting away with this behavior for so long because no one calls her on it. Dad seemed upset, Daniel said. Dad's always upset when Mom doesn't get her way, his sister said. But maybe this will wake him up too. We went back to our apartment. Daniel and I lay in bed staring at the ceiling. Are you okay? I asked. No, he said honestly, but I will be. Are you okay? I don't know, I said. I just publicly humiliated your mother at her birthday party. She publicly humiliated herself, he said. By admitting she thinks you're beneath me, by showing everyone who she really is. Your family is going to hate me. Some of them already did, he said. At least now we know who they are. I woke up the next morning to find Daniel's sister asleep on our couch. She'd driven back to our place after going home briefly. I couldn't stay there, she said when she woke up. Mom was having a meltdown. Dad was trying to calm her down and everyone kept asking me what happened. I told them the truth that Mom tried to buy you off and you called her on it. How did they react? Mixed, she said. Some people were horrified. Some people thought you were out of line. Some people said they'd suspected Mom was being awful to you but didn't want to interfere. Didn't want to interfere, I repeated. I know. She said it's cowardly. We're all cowards when it comes to Mom. Over the next few days, the fallout intensified. Daniel's phone never stopped ringing. His mom left voicemails ranging from apologetic to furious to manipulative. His dad came by twice. Both times, Daniel refused to let him in. Your mother is devastated, his dad said through the door. She's not eating, not sleeping. This has destroyed her. She did this to herself. Daniel called back. She made a mistake. She tried to destroy my marriage. Daniel said, that's not a mistake, that's a choice. His brother called. You're being dramatic. He said, Mom went about it wrong, but she was just trying to protect you from what? Daniel asked, from being happy, from making a mistake. I didn't make a mistake. Daniel said, I married the woman I love. If that's a mistake to you and Mom, then we have nothing to talk about. He hung up. But the hardest call came from his grandmother, Daniel's mom's mother. She was 85 and rarely left her house. I heard what happened. She said when Daniel answered, and I need you to forgive your mother, I can't do that. Daniel said, she's a difficult woman. His grandmother said, I know that better than anyone, but she's still your mother, and family is family. A family doesn't try to buy off family, Daniel said. She was scared, his grandmother said. Scared of losing you, scared of not being enough. Your mother has spent her whole life trying to be perfect, and when you married someone who didn't fit her perfect image, it broke something in her. That's not my wife's fault. I didn't say it was, his grandmother said. But your mother needs help, professional help, and she needs to know you haven't abandoned her completely. I don't know if I can forgive this. I'm not asking you to forgive, his grandmother said. I'm asking you to leave the door open for your sake, for her sake, for the possibility that she might change. Daniel was quiet for a long time. I'll think about it. He hung up and looked at me. My grandmother thinks I should forgive my mom. Do you want to? I asked. No, he said. But she's right that my mom needs help. She's been this way my whole life. Controlling, manipulative, obsessed with appearances, and everyone just goes along with it because it's easier than confronting her. You confronted her because she went after you, he said. If it was just me, I probably would have made excuses for her forever. So what do you want to do? I don't know. He said, I'm angry, but I'm also sad and tired, and I don't want to spend the rest of my life fighting with my mother. A week after the party, his mom sent a letter, not an email or a text, a handwritten letter. Daniel opened it carefully, read it in silence, then handed it to me. Dear Daniel, it began. I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't expect you to even read this, but I need to say it anyway. She went on for multiple pages, admitting what she'd done, explaining that she'd been seeing a therapist since the party, that she was starting to understand how damaging her behavior had been, that she'd lived her whole life believing appearances and status mattered more than anything, and that she'd almost destroyed her relationship with her son because of it. I see now that I was wrong. She wrote, Your wife is not beneath you. If anything, she's shown more grace and strength than I ever have. She endured 2 years of cruelty and said nothing. She protected you from knowing how badly I was treating her, and when she finally stood up for herself, she did it with dignity. The letter ended with, I don't know if you'll ever speak to me again, but I want you to know that I'm sorry. Truly, deeply sorry, and I'm going to spend the rest of my life trying to be better. Not for you, not for your wife, but for myself, because I don't like who I've become. Daniel folded the letter carefully. She's never apologized for anything in her life. Do you believe her? I asked. I want to, he said, but I don't know. You don't have to decide right now, I said, or ever, but something in that letter changed things. Not dramatically, not immediately, but it cracked open a door that had been slammed shut. 2 weeks later, Daniel called his mom. They talked for 15 minutes. I couldn't hear what was said, but when he hung up, he looked exhausted. She wants to see me, he said. Just me to talk. Do you want to go? Yeah, he said. I think I do. He met her at a coffee shop, neutral territory. When he came home 2 hours later, he looked shell-shocked. She's really seeing a therapist, he said, and she admitted everything. Not just the money thing. Everything. How she's been treating you, how she's been controlling my whole life. How she drove away anyone who didn't fit her image of our perfect family. What did you say? I told her I needed time. He said that I couldn't just forget what she did, but that I was willing to see if she could actually change. That's fair. She asked about you. He said if you'd be willing to talk to her eventually. I don't know, I said honestly. I told her you'd need time too. He said maybe a lot of time, and she said she understood. Over the next few months, Daniel met with his mom regularly. Always in public, always brief. She sent me flowers once with a note that said, I'm sorry, no strings attached, I didn't respond. His sister started coming to dinner at our place every week. She'd cut contact with their mom temporarily. I need to show her there are consequences, she said. Maybe for the first time in her life. His brother, however, sided with their mom. You guys are being cruel, he said at one family gathering Daniel's sister organized without their parents. She apologized. What more do you want? I want her to actually change, Daniel said. Not just say sorry and go back to the same behavior in 6 months. She's changed, his brother insisted. You just can't see it because you're too angry. I'm angry because she tried to destroy my marriage, Daniel said. And you're acting like that's something I should just get over. They didn't speak for a while after that. 6 months after the birthday party incident, Daniel's mom asked if she could come to our apartment just for an hour to talk to both of us. Daniel looked at me. What do you think? I don't know if I'm ready, I said. Then we'll say no, but part of me was curious. Part of me wanted to see if she'd really change or if this was all an elaborate manipulation. Okay, I said. 1 hour, she showed up exactly on time. She'd lost weight. Her hair was less perfect. She looked smaller somehow. Thank you for seeing me, she said. Not Mom Deanne anymore, just someone nervous and uncertain. We sat in the living room. The silence was awkward. I've been working with my therapist, she said, on understanding why I behaved the way I did. And I've realized I built my entire identity around being the perfect mother, having the perfect family, looking perfect to everyone outside. Okay. Daniel said, when you married someone who didn't fit that image, she continued looking at me, I panicked. I saw it as a reflection of my failure as a mother. Like if you'd chosen correctly, you would have chosen someone I'd approved of. I did choose correctly, Daniel said. I know that now, she said, but I couldn't see it then. All I saw was my perfect plan falling apart, and I reacted by trying to eliminate the threat. I'm not a threat, I said. I'm a person. You're right, she said. And I never saw you that way. I saw you as an obstacle, and I'm so deeply sorry for that. We sat in silence. I know saying sorry isn't enough, she said. I know I destroyed your trust. but I wanted you to know that I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm not asking for anything. I just needed you to hear that I see what I did and I'm genuinely trying to be different. Different how? I asked. I'm learning that my worth isn't tied to appearances. She said that love doesn't follow the rules I made up. That trying to control everything just pushes people away. She looked at Daniel. I almost lost you. And for what? Pride? Status? None of that matters if I don't have my children. Daniel's jaw was tight. You really hurt us, I know, she said. And I'll spend the rest of my life regretting it. She stood up. That's all I came to say. Thank you for listening. She left before the hour was up. Daniel and I sat there for a long time. I don't know what to feel, he said. Me neither. Part of me wants to believe her. Part of me thinks this is manipulation. Maybe it's both, I said. Maybe she means it right now, but patterns are hard to break. So what do? We take it slow, I said. We don't trust her immediately, but we don't shut the door completely either. Over the next year, Daniel's mom proved she was trying. She didn't call constantly. She didn't show up uninvited. She didn't pressure us to include her in our lives. She just existed on the periphery, showing through small actions that she respected our boundaries. She sent me a birthday card, not expensive, just a simple card with a handwritten note that said, "Happy birthday. I hope you have a wonderful day." She asked Daniel if she could take him to lunch for his birthday, just the two of them, no pressure about me joining. She started therapy not just with a regular therapist, but with a specialist who dealt with narcissistic tendencies and controlling behavior. His sister told us their mom was different at home, quieter, more reflective, less concerned with appearances. She actually asked Dad what he wanted for dinner last week, his sister said. I don't think she's ever asked anyone what they wanted in her life. That's progress, Daniel said carefully. It's weird is what it is, his sister said. But good weird. A year and 2 months after the birthday party, Daniel's mom asked if we'd be willing to have dinner with her and his dad at a restaurant. No pressure. I don't have to do this, Daniel said to me. If you're not ready, we won't go. I think I'm ready to try, I said. The dinner was awkward. His mom was clearly nervous. She kept her comments surface level, asked about my students, listened when I answered, didn't interrupt or dismiss anything I said. When the check came, his dad grabbed it. His mom didn't fight him on it or make a show of paying. Thank you for coming, she said as we left. This meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to us too, Daniel said carefully. We started having dinner with them once a month, always in public, always with clear boundaries. His mom never overstepped. She'd ask permission before hugging. She'd accept no as an answer without guilt tripping. She'd acknowledge when she was sliding into old patterns and apologize. It wasn't perfect. There were slip-ups, moments where her old self showed through, but she caught herself, apologized, tried again. I don't think I'll ever fully trust her, I told Daniel one night after a dinner that had gone well. I don't either, he said. But maybe that's okay. Maybe we don't need full trust, just enough to have a relationship. 2 years after the birthday party, we found out I was pregnant. We waited until I was past the first trimester to tell anyone. When we finally told Daniel's family, his mom cried. I'm going to be a grandmother, she said. She looked at me with something I'd never seen before. Respect, or maybe gratitude. Thank you for giving me another chance, for not giving up on this family. I didn't do it for you, I said honestly. I did it for Daniel and for us. I know, she said. And that makes it even more meaningful. She asked permission before buying baby things. She respected our decisions about parenting. She didn't push to be in the delivery room or demand to be the first visitor. When our daughter was born, she sent flowers and a card. She waited 2 days before asking if she could visit. And when she held my daughter for the first time, I saw her cry real tears. She's perfect, she whispered. Thank you for letting me be here. You earned it, Daniel said. By actually changing, she looked at him, at me, at our daughter. I almost missed all of this. She said because of my own stupidity, because I cared more about what other people thought than my own son's happiness. But you didn't miss it. I said, you're here now. It's been 4 years since the birthday party. Daniel's mom is not perfect. She still has moments where her old patterns emerge, but she catches them now, apologizes, tries to do better. We have dinner with her and Daniel's dad every few weeks. Our daughter knows her as Grandma. She's gentle with her, patient. Nothing like the woman who tried to pay me to disappear. Sometimes I look at her and wonder if people can really change. If she's genuinely different or just better at hiding who she is. But then I see how she is with our daughter, how she asked me for advice instead of giving unwanted opinions. how she respects our boundaries without resentment. And I think maybe people can change. If they're willing to do the hard work, if they're willing to face who they've been and choose to be different. Daniel and I still talk about that birthday party sometimes, about how I stood up in front of everyone and exposed his mom's cruelty. Do you regret it? He asks. No, I say. I regret that it had to happen, but I don't regret doing it. Sometimes the only way to break a pattern is to smash it completely. You definitely smashed it. Your mom's still not my favorite person. I admit she's not mine either, he says, but she's trying, and that's more than I expected. Last week, his mom pulled me aside after dinner. I want to give you something, she said. She handed me an envelope. My stomach dropped. If this is money, it's not, she said quickly. Open it. Inside was a check made out to the elementary school where I teach for $50,000. I can't take back what I did, she said. But I wanted to do something meaningful with that money, something that honors who you are instead of trying to make you disappear. I stared at the check. It's not enough, she said. It'll never be enough, but it's a start to make right what I made wrong. Thank you, I said, and I meant it. Because at the end of the day, people are complicated. They hurt us, they fail us, they break our trust, and sometimes if we're lucky and if they're willing, they try to make it right. Daniel's mom tried to destroy my marriage. She made me feel worthless for 2 years. She offered me money to disappear from her son's life, but she also did the hardest thing a person can do. She looked at herself honestly, admitted she was wrong, and chose to change. That doesn't erase what she did. The hurt is still there. The scars remain, but we're building something new. Not perfect, not even fully healed, but real and honest and better than what we had before. And sometimes that's all you can ask.